coming back to school with me. We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson Wood. I'm the board game teacher. Thanks for coming to my games room. Today I want to talk not about a particular game, and even though I've got Psychosis here, it's not that I'm going to be talking about the game Psychosis specifically, but what I want to do is start looking at publishers who are more focused on games for kids, and start, instead of just reviewing their individual games, start to look at the games that they're putting out. And so today I'm opening up with Genius Games. Now Genius Games is one that has really caught my attention even before I started doing Board Game Teacher. I found out about a couple of their games before that, and the concepts of their games absolutely blew me away. I mean, you take like Psychosis here. Psychosis is a game which is about cellular biology. It's a worker placement game, meaning that you have so many workers that you're using to put around the board to perform certain actions, and you're trying to do certain things like build steroids and build different things within the cell itself to achieve certain objectives that you have, and it's just it's a great game. It really is a good game, and that's what gets me, is that not only is it about a very unusual topic, being cellular biology, but it is so educational and such a good game. It just seems like so unlikely to happen, all those things coming together in such a way to make a good game that is so educational on such it just blew my mind. And then I found out there was a whole range of other games out there, and I knew that Genius Games is one that I had to find out more about and get more stuff from. And I do have other games of theirs at the school right now, so I don't have them here with me currently on Christmas holidays. But I wanted to sort of go through quickly, just not in any great depth, but just to mention, just to get the idea out there of just how much Genius Games has put out. Because they're making games like this that are, in all my experience, they have all been great games. And that is something. I mean, I have full faith in Genius Games. If I play one of their games and I'm not fully impressed, I'd be surprised at this point. Because everything I've played so far has been excellent. And so I just want to make the public aware of these too, because if you're a science teacher, particularly if you're a science teacher of like high school, maybe junior high to high school, but certainly high school students, this is something that you really should be looking at, because their stuff is definitely right on the money for that. So let's just, as I say, take a quick look at some of the things that they're putting out. So the first one is Covalent. This is a game about molecular biology and building molecules. They have another game similar to that called Ion, which is a compound building game. If you're familiar with the game Sushi Go, I have played Ion, and so this is one where you're drafting cards, similar to a game like Sushi Go, if you're familiar with the card drafting system, and you're using that to build sets to then build the compounds that you want to be building to make molecules for things like salt and fertilizer, glass, and such. And it's, again, one of these amazing games where I was playing with my grade 5 students, and they were understanding how it was going. They were getting some of the knowledge for it, maybe not understanding everything fully because it's higher level than what they're expected to be learning, but still they were getting it. They were still able to play it and have a fun time with it, and that is a sign of a really good game. So Covalence, I imagine, is something similar to that, and although I haven't played it, this is something I'm going to be looking to play in 2020. And of course there's Psychosis here, which is the cellular biology game, which I had previously mentioned. They have a game called Ecosystem, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. I would need to look up that one to see what the age ranges are, but because I know there was some materials in the younger grades that use that, but I'm guessing it's probably still going to be something that we'd be looking for in the higher grade levels rather than anything around the grade 4, which I know I've taught grade 4 ecosystems, but probably not one that I would be getting for a grade 4 class, but certainly something to look into. They have a game called Genotype, which is about Mendelian genetics. They have a game called Linkage, which is a DNA card game. And they have a game called Nerdwords Science, which is kind of funny because Nerdwords is a term I've been using for many years. Now, these are the games that I've just seen on Kickstarter that are done by Genius Games and John Covey. But sometimes the games haven't even made it onto Board Game Geek yet. It takes a while once a game has been published to gain enough recognition to be recognized by Board Game Geek, because there's like thousands and thousands of games coming out every year. So not all of them are jumping right onto Board Game Geek the moment that they're published. So it may take a little while. So there's a few games which I'm aware of that have been kickstarted by Genius Games, and these are ones I'd like to mention as well, because Kickstarter is a a crowdfunding platform where people can, look at a game that the company is saying, we don't have the money to publish this game right away, but if you pay us upfront for it, we'll send you the game when it's ready. And this is a very popular thing nowadays for a lot of board game companies, and Genius Games does this as well. And I know one game I've actually just kickstarted with them is called On the Origin of Species. It's a game about Charles Darwin and his journey through the Galapagos Islands. So I'm looking forward to receiving that one early in the new year. And I will, of course, be reviewing that one when I do get it. But other games that they've done on Kickstarter that I don't currently own, but will be looking to pick up, are Virulence, which is an infectious card game. The Periodic, which is a game of a periodic table of elements. Again, blew my mind that they could make a game about that, and from what I've understood, from what I've heard so far, it is a good game. Peptide, a protein building game, and Subatomic, an atom building game. So these are the games that I've seen out there made by Genius Games, but that's not where Genius Games sort of draws the line. It was with the board games. They've also done a whole series of books, and these are for very young learners. These are like they're called My First Science books, and there's a whole series of books on that. And I would really recommend looking into those if you have young kids or even for young classes. This is a great way to introduce some of these higher level science topics like atoms and molecules, things like that, to kids. Female Scientists is another series of books that they have for those young kids. Just great books for the younger students as well. And then they have, I've noticed that they have biology puzzles, so human anatomy puzzles for different systems of the body so that kids can learn while building these puzzles. I know that's one way I learned, my geography isn't great at the world, but I do know that a lot of the knowledge I have of geography, world geography, was from a puzzle that my brother and I used to do over and over and over again when we were kids. We always used to, for whatever reason, save Mongolia, which is sort of nestled in between China, north of China, and south of Russia there on the eastern side. So that's just, again, from that puzzle. So this is one way to learn. It's a great kinesthetic way for people to learn. Those who are kinesthetic learners, to learn about the human body is through a human body puzzle. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. If you have any other games or products from Genius Games that maybe I've forgotten to mention that you know of, please do leave me a message in the comment section below. Maybe other viewers will read that and will be informed by what I've left out. So please, as I say, do inform us if there's something that you do know of. And if there's other companies that you might want me to talk about, I do have a few in my mind who I'd like to be talking about in the near future, about different things that they're putting out there and just highlighting some of these companies doing these great things for board games and education. And if you have any other topics or games you might like me to talk about on any subject matter, please leave me that message in the comment section below, and please don't forget to hit like and subscribe while you're down there. Well, until next time, I'm Craig Thompson with the Board Game Teacher saying thanks for coming to the classroom.
Are you coming back?